A longtime listener wrote with some questions about juicing as a way to boost nutrition. Are cold-pressed juices more nutritious? Are pasteurized juices safer? We're spilling the juice in today's episode. This is Monica Reinagel, and you are listening to the Nutrition Diva podcast, a show where we take a closer look at nutrition news, research, and trends so that you can make more informed decisions about what you eat. And today's episode was prompted by an email from a longtime listener. She writes, I've been a fan of your show for years. Your work really inspired my love for nutrition and my journey to eat better. And along the way, I discovered juicing as a convenient way to get more fruits and vegetables. I agree with eating your fruits and vegetables whole when possible to benefit from all the fiber. However, I'm a bit conflicted about an ongoing debate between cold-pressed juices and pasteurized juices. And she then shared a short list of specific claims that she had come across, asking for my perspective. And in this episode, I will try to address each of those claims. But first, there was something about this listener's email address that caught my attention. And with a little research, well, actually nothing more than a Google search, I discovered that this listener actually seems to have a business selling cold-pressed juices. And I'll admit, at first I wondered whether she might just be looking for a little third-party validation that she could link to from her social media channel. But you know what? I'm going to assume that she's genuinely curious. And if juicing is something that she is invested in, whether as a business or simply as a health practice, then I actually give her extra credit for being willing to look critically at the various claims that she's encountered. First, let me clarify what we are and aren't talking about today. We're talking about 100% juice drinks and not beverages that may include a little bit of fruit juice with some other things like tea or punch or sparkling water. And we're also going to distinguish between juice, which presses or extracts the liquids out of whole fruits and vegetables, leaving the fiber behind, between that and smoothies or other blended drinks that pulverize or liquefy whole fruits and vegetables. Even within that narrower scope, we still have a broad range of options. So on the more processed end of the spectrum, we have juice concentrate, which is made by juicing the fruit and then evaporating most of the water. And the concentrated juice is then frozen or sometimes put in those aseptic packages. And when you're ready to drink it, you mix that concentrate with water to reconstitute it into juice. The main benefits of frozen concentrate are convenience and cost. Removing the water makes it a lot lighter and therefore cheaper to ship, and it will last for months in the freezer. The downside is that the extra processing can knock out some of the flavor as well as heat-sensitive nutrients like vitamin C. Slightly less processed would be not from concentrate juices, which are pressed or squeezed and then pasteurized. So pasteurization involves briefly heating the juice to kill any bacteria that may have been present on the fresh produce. And that not only makes it safer to drink, but it also extends the shelf life. Because they're exposed to a lot less heat than juice concentrates, this type of juice tends to retain more of the fruit's original flavor and aroma. And while there are some nutrient losses, it is not at all true that pasteurized juices contain zero nutritional value. Even less processed would be cold-pressed juices that you see in health food stores. Instead of using high-speed blades, which can generate some heat, the juice is extracted usually with a hydraulic pressure, which helps preserve more of the nutrients, the flavor, and even the color. Essentially, you get a very fresh-tasting juice made from fruits and vegetables, often interesting blends like kale, spinach, apple, or beet, ginger, lemon. However, most commercially available cold-pressed juices are not truly raw because they would have a very short shelf life. And at $8 a pint, we cannot be pouring this stuff down the drain. Most bottled cold-pressed juices undergo a form of pasteurization that kills bacteria and extends the shelf life, only instead of heat, they use pressure. This high-pressure processing, HPP, can extend the shelf life of cold-pressed juice from 2 to 3 days up to a month. Now, producers aren't required to mention HPP on the label, but most fresh cold-pressed juices quietly undergo this treatment in order to make them safe for retail distribution. And if they haven't, I'd be a bit nervous about consuming them. In terms of nutrition, cold-pressed, pressure-treated juices may retain a bit more vitamin and enzyme content compared to traditional heat pasteurization, but there is still some nutrient degradation over time. The only way to get truly fresh, raw juice is either to make it yourself or maybe have it made to order at a juice bar. And in that case, you are relying entirely on good hygiene and safe food handling practices, whether yours or your juice barista's, to minimize your risk of foodborne pathogens. Cold-pressed juice will probably have a fresher taste and aroma than more processed juices. And that alone may make it worth the additional expense. They may also be somewhat higher in certain antioxidant nutrients. But I'm not sure that the difference in nutrient levels between cold-pressed and pasteurized juice is enough to make a meaningful difference in your overall nutrient status or health. As for the additional enzymes that may be preserved in cold-pressed juices, the health benefits of food-based enzymes are often overstated. Enzymes are relatively fragile. Not only are they destroyed by temperatures above 116 degrees, but they can be destroyed or inactivated by very acidic environments, such as that of your stomach. So the enzymes that may be present in fruit and vegetable juice don't have a whole lot of functionality in your digestive tract. And for more on raw food diets and enzymes, please check out episode number 99. So to sum up what we've talked about so far, commercially available cold-pressed juices are generally processed in a way that makes them as safe as conventionally pasteurized juices, and they may also retain more flavor and nutrients. Fresh pressed juices, whether you are making them at home or buying them at a juice bar, do have a higher risk of foodborne pathogens. Now, I want to back up the lens a bit and look at the role that fruit and vegetable juice might play in your overall nutrition. As my listener mentioned in her email, eating your fruits and vegetables whole instead of juiced offers significant advantages, mostly from the fiber that ends up getting strained out of juice. Fiber slows down the absorption of the natural sugars in the fruits and vegetables into your bloodstream, and that can help to blunt any blood sugar spikes. And the amount of sugar in that virtuous green juice may be more than you think. A 16-ounce serving of mixed fruit and vegetable juice can add up to as much sugar as in a can of Coca-Cola. And unfortunately, your glucose receptors and your pancreas, they don't really distinguish between the natural sugars in juice and the sugars in soda. Fiber also makes whole fruits and vegetables more satiating or filling than juice. And finally, fiber provides a food source for the beneficial bacteria in our gut, but none of those benefits make it into juice. Now, on the other hand, if you have ever made juice yourself, you know that it takes many, many servings of fruits and vegetables to make a single glass of juice. So if you struggle to eat your 5 servings of vegetables a day, drinking a shot of juice made from 5 servings of fruits and vegetables could be a way to get at least some of those benefits. And if you're drinking that glass of juice instead of a can of soda, well, that's probably an upgrade too. But no amount of juice is going to completely replace the benefits of actually eating more fruits and vegetables. Nor is it going to cancel out the harms of an otherwise crappy diet. Adding green juice to a poor diet is kind of like taking an aspirin to fix the headache caused by constantly staring at your screen. The aspirin might help a bit, but stepping away from the screen might do more good. Okay, but that said, in my experience, a lot of the people who really get into juicing as a health practice are adding the juice to a generally healthy diet. They have a big salad for lunch and then they gild the lily with 16 ounces of cold pressed green juice. If vegetables are so good for you, doesn't it make sense that doubling, tripling, or quadrupling your intake would be that much better? Well, actually, no. While there is a lot of evidence to support the idea that 5 servings of vegetables a day keeps you healthy, there's little evidence to suggest that 10 or 15 servings a day keeps you any healthier. Many of the nutrients that you're getting from juices are antioxidants, and there is a limit to how much your body can actually utilize at one time. In fact, there's even some evidence to suggest that you can get too much of a good thing. And for more on that, see episode number 128. I should probably also address the use of juices as part of a cleanse or a detox program because I see a lot of these advertised on social media. But you know what? This episode is already a little bit on the long side, so let me instead refer you to episode number 61 on cleansing and number 62 on detox programs. And then finally, I wanted to just quickly address one of the specific claims that my listener mentioned, that mixing fruits and vegetables in the same juice is somehow harmful because it causes adverse chemical reactions in your body. Rest assured, there is no credible scientific evidence behind these food-combining myths. Your digestive system is fully capable of handling all sorts of foods, fruits, vegetables, proteins, fats, together in the same meal, let alone the same glass of juice. So feel free to blend that kale and kiwi together. Your body knows exactly what to do. And for more on food-combining myths, you might want to check out episode number 34. By the way, I've mentioned quite a few related episodes in the course of this one, and my team at Quick and Dirty Tips has helpfully put together a little playlist with them all in one place, and you'll find a link to that playlist of juicing episodes in the show notes for today's episode. But my bottom line on juicing for health is this. If you really love the taste, or you're convinced that fresh or cold-pressed juice is just somehow making your life better, here are a few suggestions for maximizing your returns and minimizing any downsides. Number 1, keep your portions moderate. 8 to 12 ounces of juice a day is plenty. And try to prioritize veggie-heavy blends because that'll help to keep the sugar content down. Number 2, consider having your juice with a balanced meal or snack that also contains some protein, some fiber, some healthy fats to help to steady your blood sugar response. Or alternatively, you could save your juice for a post-workout treat because your muscles will then be primed to make good use of all that extra blood sugar. Number 3, if you're making juice at home, at least consider blending whole fruits and veggies into smoothies instead in order to retain more of that valuable fiber. And for more on how blending affects nutrition, please check out episode number 270. We'll put that in the playlist as well. And finally, make sure you're enjoying that juice as part of an overall nutritious diet and not as a free pass to indulge in less healthy foods. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, you can email it to me at nutrition@quickanddirtytips.com. And if you'd like to find out about having me speak at your next live or virtual event, you can learn more about that at wellnessworkshere.com. If you're a subscriber of the Nutrition Diva podcast, and I hope you are, you may have noticed an extra bonus episode in your feed this week. We are doing a special 4-part series of bonus episodes as part of our observation of Osteoporosis Awareness Month this May. Each week, we're taking a look at different phases of life and the unique challenges and opportunities we have to build and maintain strong, healthy bones. Whether you're in midlife or a senior or a parent or grandparent, you will definitely learn some new ways to take care of your skeleton. And if you are a registered dietitian, you can even earn continuing education credits from listening to this entire series. Just check out any of those bonus episodes for details. Nutrition Diva is a quick and dirty tips podcast. Steve Riekeberg is our audio engineer. Brandon Getches provides script editing. Holly Hutchings is our digital operations specialist. Morgan Christensen heads up our podcast operations and advertising, and we also get support from Nat Hoops. Thanks to all of them, and thanks to you for listening.